Ah then, welcome back to an absolutely stunning day in Lake District again. And I'm out of breath because we're not quite at Elm Crag yet, but this is White Crag, I think it's called. And anybody that's come up to Elm Crag from Grasmere, where I've come from, you'll know just how steep a pull this is. But yeah, I've been here for a few days to be honest. I came up yesterday, I ended up meeting up with Dave Miles, and we camped in I don't know what they call it, campsite just across the road from Threlkeld. It's on a farm. I can't remember the name on it now. If I remember, I'll put it on screen. But yeah, I met up with Dave Miles last night, stopped in that farm campsite. Nice and basic, like some toilets and showers and that, like, but there's no electric hookups or water or like that. Yeah, we had a cracking night in vans. Had a walk over to Threlkeld, had a few pints, came back over, had a cracking night in van last night and a lovely morning. And then Dave's had to get off home. He was camping the night before. So this morning I drove into Keswick because I've had to go and buy myself a new filter, so I'll show you that later on, because my Catering B-freeze packed in. So then I drove over to Grasmere, which is just down there, parked on lay-by on A591, is it, on the, you know, that long lay-by that you can park in side of the road, because Grasmere is absolutely rammed. You know, who can blame people on a lovely day like this? And hills coming up here, I've seen about at least half a dozen folk, maybe more, coming down. But yeah, went down into Grasmere, had a bite to eat, a brew. Nice lazy afternoon back at van. I've had a couple of hours sleep in van, just chilling out. It's just gone about 4 o'clock now, so got all my gear packed up and got set off. So the route we're doing is, as I've just mentioned, we're going up Elm Crag, but we're not camping on there. We're going to go along ridge. It's a route I've done before. Obviously I've done all these with completed Wainwright, so this will only be my second time sort of doing this route. So Elm Crag, along ridge to Gibson Knot, right across to Calf Crag. I've been on Calf Crag a few times, but I've not walked this ridge, so, or should I say, I've not walked this ridge since the first time I did it. So this will be second time on Elm Crag, second time on Gibson Knot. So we get over to Calf Crag, we double back onto Steel Fell, which is where we're going to be camping tonight. And it's only, well, I say a small one, I think it's 500 and something metres, but I've been over Steel Fell a couple of times, and it's one I've always wanted to camp on because the views looking down Thirlmere, absolutely mind-blowing. So hopefully we can get a nice little pitch on there tonight and take that stunning view in. So we'll crack on, we'll get up onto Elm Crag, aka the Lion and the Lamb. We'll see what it's like up there. I might have a little climb up the howitzer if there's nobody there. So yeah, let's crack on, let's get to the summit. Right then, we're not far off at top. Just up there to go another couple of minutes. I've just reached this nice grassy sort of ledge here. Beautiful views from here. Looking down into Grasmere there. Absolutely stunning. See a lot at Fairfield Horseshoe from here. I forget names of these now. Erin, is it Erin Pike or Erin Crag or something? That's Fairfield right at the top end. See at Sandal just here, and just sort of in mid-ground here, that's Stone Arthur. And I were actually on there about 3 weeks ago with Steve Paxton, Outdoors Lifestyle, and we met in lay-by just down here, where I've parked van this time as well. and we went up there. It was like this, absolutely stunning. Not a cloud in sky, zero wind. It was absolutely beautiful. We had a cracking camp on there. Yeah, what a day, what a stunning day. Right, let's get to the summit. Right then, we're on Elm Crag summit, 405 metres, and you pretty much earn every one of them. And I don't know if many of you will know, but it's also known as the Lion and the Lamb, this. I don't know if you can see that outcrop there. There's the big bit and then a little bit just off to the side. Well, when you're on the road down at bottom coming out of Grasmere, looking up to that, it just looks like a lion sat with a little lamb in front of it, as though it's caught a little lamb. So yeah, the big lump is the lion and the little lump is the lamb. So yeah, Elm Crag, also known as the Lion and the Lamb. Right, we'll go over to, we're passing it anyway, but we'll go over to the howitzer, and if there's nobody about, I'll have a little climb up that. Right, here we are on top of the howitzer. It is a rather tasty drop off just down there. I can remember coming up here last time. It is a little bit of a tasty climb, this, to be honest. You come up this little bit of a crevice here, and it is quite a hands-on climb, so anybody that's not sort of confident and a little bit more experienced in doing a little bit of climbing or scrambling, leave it alone. Don't come up here, because if you fall, you will seriously hurt yourself if you fall off here. But yeah, second time I've been up here, and I don't know how rate it is. I ain't read it myself, but Wainwright, I'm sure I've heard somebody say that you sort of can't claim as completing Elm Crag as a Wainwright unless you've climbed this, but I can't see that being right. If you're on the summit, you're on the summit, and that's it. There's quite a few midges about. I hope we don't get none of them up on Steel Fell. And speaking of which, you can sort of see the route now. So we're going along the ridge here. This is Gibson Knot in middle, Calf Crag right at far side, and then we cut back, double back to Steel Fell just here. And obviously over at back is Thirlmere, so we'll be looking at getting a real nice pitch over there somewhere on the back side of that, looking straight out of a Thirlmere. Right, let's get back down off of here and get on. Right, we're down. Incident free. So Elm Crag's one I've always sort of looked at and I wanted to camp on, but you always sort of, well, I sort of do. I always like look at it, and like I say, it's only 405 metres. It's not a, it's only took me an hour's walk up here to get up, you know, sort of steady walk up. But I think I will do at some point, because, you know, what a lovely area to camp on here, this flat grassy spot. It's obviously well used. I know quite a few people that have camped up here, and you know, look at the views you get. It's absolutely beautiful. Cracking views. Right then, let's get on. Let's get along the ridge, along to Gibson Knot, and over to Calf Crag, and back round to Steel Fell, and hopefully somewhere along the line we can find some water, because I've got no water with me at all. I usually fetch some water up with me, but I know there's some tarns up there, and I know there's a little tarn on Steel Fell, so hopefully we might be able to get something from them. And I'm hoping that this new filter I've got don't need wetting out, because if it don't, we'll just be collecting water, boiling it up unfiltered, which I've done before, but it's not ideal. But right, let's get down here. Right, Gibson Knot. Not sure which summit is. I think this is summit over here. It's either that one or this one just here. Can't remember the height of this one. But yeah, second time along here again. Again, it's a nice little summit, nice 360 views off this one, beautiful. You get a tent on here easy somewhere, plenty of nice little grassy shelves knocking about and that. Right, next stop, Calf Crag. That's if we go that far. We might not go as far as Calf Crag. If I remember the first time we came along here, we cut back round. I don't think we can go. You can get as far as Calf Crag, but I think you can sort of cut round, follow the fence line round before it, I think. Come round onto Steel Fell. But we'll see, we'll get over there. We'll, if it's not too much further to go over, we'll go over and bag it again, because that'll be, if we do go over, that'll be third time I'll have been onto Calf Crag, so I'm not sort of in any need to go over there again. So yeah, we'll keep going. So the weather this week has just been absolutely insane. It's the 9th of April today, Wednesday 9th of April. And even back as far as last week, we've had pretty much about 10 or 12 days of this. We're a little bit windier last week before I went back to work. I was on in between Scarfells last week on Mickledore, the place I've camped before. Cracking views down over Wasdale from here. But yeah, we're heading into sort of 2 weeks worth of this weather, and even the rest of this week. Like I say, it's Wednesday today, and even into weekend it's still forecast this. Light winds, 16-18 degrees throughout the day. It's just, you know, absolutely beautiful. But don't let it fool you, because we are obviously still in early spring, and the overnight temperatures are, like tonight, because it's clear, drop down to 2 degrees. Like when I went on Scarfells last week, I woke up to a touch of frost. This morning, even into van and that, you know, I got up first thing this morning, it was a touch cold. So it might be sort of into high teens temperature wise throughout there, but it drops back down to them low single digit figures on a night. And yeah, I mean, like the winds tonight, forecast sort of 16-18 mile an hour winds today, but tonight's due to drop off right down to as low as 4 and 5 mile an hour, and same tomorrow morning, virtually no wind. That sort of wind speed, when they're forecasting that, it's virtually negligible. It's, you know, it's naught. So we should be on for an absolutely cracking camp tonight, really nice and peaceful. Only trouble with that is because there's no breeze. There could be a few midges knocking about, but we'll keep our fingers crossed there ain't. Right then, this is the point where I'm going to cut off across here now and head up to Steel Fell, and I can see the tarns have got watted in them. As I was coming up here, all the sort of boggy bits were really dry, and I'm thinking, oh, them tarns up there have got watted in them, so that's nice to see that they've got watted in them, so that is a bit of a relief. So yeah, the path sort of comes here as a faint path, and then just over here we'll pick that main path up that goes to Steel Fell. And this is Calf Crag. Well, it's a little bit further on, but like I was saying back down there, I've no real feel to need to go up over there. I've been up over it twice. It is a Wainwright, so you know, it's already bagged. I've been on it twice, so it's probably going to take me another half an hour to get to the summit, and then obviously come back. So that's time that I can head across here, get over to that town, get some water filtered, and get on Steel Fell and get a nice little pitch and chill out. Right then, we've arrived at water source. They are on map, these, if you look along this route coming from Calf Crag to Steel Fell. They're on map, you can see them, quite clearly see them. looks a little bit boggy just here, so I'm going to go over the far side. Looks a little bit more solid ground over there, and there's a bank rather than it being boggy bit look on it. So preferably I'd hoped to have found a spring somewhere, but I've seen nothing, absolutely nothing. So yeah, this was my sort of plan A for water. So yeah, let's find a suitable spot to get down to and get some water. There is two of them. There's this one here, and then there's another just over there. I might have a walk over to that one. Right, enough faffing. Let's get over. Well, I've come to the far side of this smaller one. It's a bit more solid round here. It's a little bit boggy round the other side and that, so I'm just going to ditch my bag just here, and it looks clear. It's not peaty, so should be able to reach in. It sort of drops off quite deep in there and all. I've no idea how deep it is, but yeah, get my bag off, get some water sorted. So yeah, this is the new filter, the platypus. Really good actually. As you can see, this town water is very clean, so I've got a litre there. I fill my other bottle up with sports cap on it, my active water bottle, and then that's a litre bladder pack as well. And that actually filters, it says 3 litres per minute, and it literally filled that litre bottle in 10 seconds. It was really quick, and it comes with a different cap as well. Not at that end, but which end is it now? I think you can sort of put there's another fitting for it that you can put on here that actually screws to one of these active bottles or a smart water bottle, screws to it, and then you can hang that up and just naturally let it drip feed or drip filter through into the bottle, you know, like an hanging sort of system. But yeah, that's if you've got time obviously. But yeah, and drinking straight out of this as well. It's got a cap on with top on there, but I got that out of Cotswolds in Keswick, and it should have been, I think, would I have 65 or 70 quid. That was full price. It was lasting on shelf, and it wouldn't sale at 45 quid. And I was going for one of these anyway, so I was prepared to spend 70 quid. And when I saw it on sale at 45 quid, I thought, whoosh, I'm having that. So yeah, really pleased with that. So I'll get a bit more out of that, get another drink out of that, get some water down me, because I have sweated quite a bit coming up. I have had my electrolytes in my drink coming up, but I'll drink another half a litre down me, and then I'll fill that back up, and we'll crack on and get up there. Because it is knocking on now, it's 5:10. So yeah, we'll crack on and get off up there. It weren't 5:10, it was 5:10. I couldn't quite see it right, because some were glaring on the screen on my watch. I thought it said 17:10, 17:50. So yeah, 5:10. So yeah, it's quite a route round, is that. It's up to now. It's taken me 2 hours 32 minutes, and we've walked 5.3 mile. Like I say, I have done this circular before, quite a few years ago. It's one of my really old videos. I did it with some friends, and do you know what, it's about this time. I can't remember what year it was. It was before COVID. That's how long ago it was. And we came up here, me and a couple of friends. We did this walk, and I know it was about this time because it's come up on my Facebook memories this morning. What's chances of that? 9th of April. And we did this back down to Dave's car, and then we went over to Keswick, down to Derwent Water, and we went over onto St Herbert's Island, and we camped on St Herbert's Island that night, and it was absolutely fantastic. It was absolutely baking hot that day, and all three of us got sunburnt. Went over to St Herbert's Island, we did on Dave's boat, took Caddock over, burgers and that, took, you know, tents, few drinks, had a little swim in water. What a weekend that was. Superb. So yeah, what's chances of that, eh? Same date, and I'm doing the same walk again. Weren't planned, and like I say, I got a memory on my Facebook this morning, 9th of April. Couldn't believe it. Right then, I'm gonna put camera away for a bit now. We're not that far, maybe 20 minutes or something. So I'll get to somewhere to Steelfell, and I'll find a nice spot somewhere. I'll fetch you back up there. Like I was saying earlier, sunset's not well about 5 to 8, 1956 or something like that, so we've still loads of time. It's a beautiful evening. Right, I'm gonna shut up and get cracking. Right, Steelfell. Whew. Not third time I think this is. 553 metres. So, like I was saying earlier, not the biggest in terms of height, but we've got 360-degree views. And look at that, straight down film here. So I want a pitch looking straight down that. So I'm have a little look about, and I'll fetch you back when I find somewhere ideal. So till then, I'll catch up with you in a short while. It's 7 minutes past 6. We've done 5.97 mile, and it's taken me 2 hours 49 minutes. Obviously there's a few bits to camera here and there. So yeah, right. Find a spot. I'll fetch you back when I'm all pitched up. Right, we've got pitched up. Spent about 20 minutes meandering around. You know what I'm like for a pitch. There's so many little lumps and little flat grassy shelves and everything round here. You're sort of spoilt for choice really. But summits are just back up there. That's the main summit, just back up there. So I came down here, I walked down here. But yeah, I still wanted to remain high, so I was high enough to get that view. But I sort of wanted a little bit more of the, you know, of the lake if you wanted. But the lower I was going down here, I was losing more of it from sort of a height point of view. But yeah, came back up here. Really nice little flat ledge just here. I just thought, you know what, I went up on here, went just back up on here, looking about, and I just looked back down on this, and I just thought, you know what, sod it, that's where I'm going, and it's a nice flat pitch, that, superb. I made a few little modifications to this, because last week when I was arting it, I got a little bit of line, the original lines that were on corners that Durston put on, that 2.5mm black line or whatever it is. I was getting a little bit of slippage on one at corners, and when I looked at line it were all fraying as it went through line lock. So what I've done is I've swapped them out for some 3mm Lawson line, and I've made them a little bit longer as well with a loop on end, just in case I need to double peg that if you're in any soft ground or out like that. If that's pulling a little bit, you can put another peg through that and double peg it. So I've done that on all 4 corners, and it grips a lot better in that line lock as well. So I've done it on all 4 corners, and I've done it on do a tie arch at bottom as well. So that's a lot better, that. So what time are we on? Got a few drinks in there. It's 7:15 now. My watch is saying that sunset's bang on 8 o'clock. So what we've got in here as well is still on my Thermarest X-Therm at minute, because my yellow one, my X-Lite, it's got a very, very slow puncture in it, which I can't seem to find, so that's going to have to go back to X-Therm. Mythic 400's that from 600. This is good down to sort of -1 comfort, so that'll see me as my 3 season. Got my pillar. Got me take me sent to a new down jacket. This is the Prozar, I think they call it. Yeah, Prozar jacket. That'll sort of be my summer jacket. I've still got my K on, so in height at summer. So June, July, August, when it's a lot warmer, I'll use my K on jacket, and I'll go to my Mythic Ultra 180, my sleeping bag, that Mythic Ultra 180, that black one. It's got the tilt lining, the thermoionic lining technology in it. 360 grams that weighs, but it's only got a comfort rating of 7 degrees, so it's only sort of for them warmer months in the middle of the summer. So yeah, that's about it. I'm going to get some tea on go. I've got a couple of little drinks in there as per usual. Cheers. I'll catch up with you in a short while. Oh, it's absolute bliss this. Sun's gone down over that ridge over there, over the hull scarf, so over the back of the hull scarf. It's quite to 8. Like I was saying, sunset is quite 8 o'clock, should I say. I just stuck the kettle on. I get a brew on go and some snap. But yeah, it's just absolute bliss this, absolute bliss. That view down Thirlmere down there is just absolutely stunning from here. I think I was saying on one of my last camps, sort of when you start getting into summer and that, you're coming out a little bit later into fells and stuff, and you sort of, time runs away with you a little bit, and you sort of forget to sort of start getting your snap on, and before you know it, it's knocking on a bit, and you think to yourself, come on, I haven't had any snap yet. So yeah, that's what I've just been taking a few pictures and having a little wonder about right summit and stuff. But yeah, just taking this batter back up. It's really good flow this, look at that. Really good flow. I was a little bit worried when I got this that I might have had to sort of wet the fibres out a little bit, because I read instructions and it says to sort of let at least half a litre sort of flow through it. But straight out at box, that bang on. Don't know what's happened with me B3. When I was out last week, up at Scarfells. I came home, flushed it out like I usually do, and I usually store it inside a jar with some water in with a squirt of bleach. So that's what they recommend you do with filters, a squirt it if you're storing it, a squirt of bleach. So as long as you've cleaned them out, bat flushed them, cleaned them out, whatever you want to do, get them clean out and sterilise them. You can keep them, store them dry as long as there's no microbial bacteria, I think they call it. So yeah, but I forgot, and I left it out on draining board last week. So when I finished work, starts getting all my gear ready, I got it out and I thought, oh no. I felt bladder up with a litre of water, tried to squeeze it through. Nope. Put it into jar with water in with a squirt of bleach overnight. Nope. So I think that's had it. So yeah, I was gonna get another B3, but that's my third one now. I've been using them B3s for about 5 years, maybe 5 or 6 years. Started using them before COVID, so yeah, it's probably 5 or 6 years. So now I've had 3 of them. That was my third. But obviously I do get a lot, and I filter a lot of water. So yeah, we'll see how this goes, see how we get on with this. Hopefully it lasts a while. So brew on go. Adventure Foods chicken curry, one of my favourites from them. Like I said, that sun's just dropped down. There was an ever so sort of gentle breeze, probably that 5 mile an hour. What was a little bit sort of blustery as we were coming round on some exposed parts as we've walked round. Maybe sort of 10, 12, 15 mile an hour. But since we've pitched up, it's just note at all, note. There's an ever so gentle movement to air. You know, you can just, I don't know whether you can just see it moving a right tiny little bit there. Like I was saying earlier on, don't let these nice sunny days fool you. You know, warm temperatures during the day. It's so I've got my jacket on because I can feel cold, and I can feel cold on my hands now as well. Not freezing, but you know, you can feel that little nip, even though it's only a very, very gentle breeze. I can feel my hands are a bit chilly. So I'll probably put my gloves on in a bit. I've got my power stretch gloves with me. So that's about it for now. Like I say, 10 to 8 now. Sunset. I've at back of the scarf over there. I'm gonna get this brew, get me tea. Hopefully we'll get a few stars out a little bit later on. I'll check Aurora apps if we've got any Aurora, because that is directly north. Looking straight down Phil Mere there, that is directly north. So hopefully we might get a few green lights in the sky later on, fingers crossed. So yeah, I'll probably catch up with you a little bit later on when I'm ready for bed. Rightio, the time is 9:45. I've just been chilling out in tent. I've still got door open, still got inner open, I've still got the main door open. It's just such a peaceful evening, such a peaceful night, it's unbelievable. I got myself a brew on, got a couple of bars of chocolate. Oh, look at that. As I was saying earlier on, I'm gonna see if we get any lights in the sky. There's a few stars knocking about, and they'll probably get another half an hour or something like that. Might get well about 8, 10, 11 o'clock or something like that, and I'll have a look outside. But yeah, just lay the tent door open. There's no condensation, zero wind. Such a beautiful evening. So yeah, that's the state of play. I'll have a little look at the skies a little bit later on, and I shall bid you a good night, and I'll catch up with you in the morning. Good morning. Time is 10 to 7. been up since about 6 o'clock. The sunrise just over the back of, sort of over the back of see it Sandal over that way, looking over to Fairfield, and there's a very slight inversion. You can just about see a very faint level of inversion, and looking over back down to Grasmere, there's some low inversion clouds down in bottom at village there, and I can see right over to sort of Blencathra and Skiddaw. There's some cloud in valley there, so not full inversion but sort of partial, very thin. It's a beautiful morning. Kettle's already been on, get some breakfast on go. And there's a few patches of frost about, so it definitely got down to sort of low single digit figures in temperature, as it were forecast to like. I think forecast was, I think it said it were going to get down to sort of a lower 2 at around 3 or 4 o'clock this morning. But yeah, there's a couple of patches of frost about, I noticed when I got out to take a leak like. But yeah, a lovely morning, so I'll be getting a bit of breakfast. I'm on a porridge this morning. I'm adventure food. I've no idea how you pronounce that. Knusper muesli. Yeah, that's what I'm having this morning. I'll take this view in for a while, and then we'll start getting packed up and get off. I'm just enjoying a second brew. That sun is absolutely beautiful. I've just been sat in tent door. I can still see them on the hillside down there. You'll not see them on GoPro, but sort of brow in mid distance before the lake sort of starts. There's an herd of deer just on sort of hillside there, just to the left, in line with lake. They've been just wandering about on there grazing in this beautiful morning sun. It's absolutely stunning up here this morning, absolutely stunning. I think we can see a little bit more of this sort of faint inversion over this side. I've just been catching up on Instagram, and one of the lads who I follow on Instagram, Callum, he's over on Green Crag, and he's absolutely surrounded by inversion down at southern end of lakes. But you can, I don't know whether you can make it out, you can sort of see it here, look, like a faint inversion. This other thermia down here, it's dissipated a little bit. There's still a very faint, but you could see it line away at temperature, you know, changing. If it were any thicker it'd have been absolutely superb, but you can sort of see it's very sort of hazy and inversion-esque. Absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely cracking, this. Absolutely cracking view, this. That view. Straight down Thirlmere Lake there, and then to right you've got Blencathra. And then in gap in middle you can see Carrickfell and High Pike, that little pointy bit, that's High Pike. Camped on that one. And then coming round to the left you've got Skiddaw Lower Man, Skiddaw it's then. You can sort of see Ullet Pike and Carlside just to the left of Skiddaw there. What a spot this is. Like I've said many a time, you don't have to be on high ones. It's cracking being on big ones, you know, 800 metres plus 900 metres, and being out on them and looking out. But it's nice to be on some smaller ones sometimes and getting that different perspective of a view. It's just beautiful. You can just see just over into the valley just here. I don't know if you can just make that little bit out in there, little bits of low cloud in there, little bits of inversion in here. Yeah, very little breeze. It dropped, as I was saying last night, dropped off to no wind, and I've heard note all night. And there's a little gentle breeze got up this morning with sunrise, but that's about it. So I'm going to drink this brew, and then I'm going to make a start on packing up, and then we'll get off. Right, all packed up, bag on back. I don't know if you can make out, but this inversion is building. You can sort of see over here where I was mentioning earlier on, there was a little bit of thin cloud in there. There's an inversion building because there's quite a bit of moisture. I don't know if I mentioned earlier on this morning, when I woke up this morning, tent were absolutely bone dry, but it's morning's gone on when sun's rose. It's started to get dew all over it, and by the time I packed up there I've had to wipe it down, so it had gone from being bone dry to wet through outside. Even sun weren't drying it out, so there's a lot of moisture in it there. I can see a little bit passing through here. So yeah, looks as though there's going to be some inversion building today. So yeah, as I say, packed up, bag up back, it's 8:30. That's where I was, cracking little spot. You know the school as always will leave no trace. So yeah, we're going to drop straight off the nose. You can drop, obviously the way we've come up, you can drop off down there, down into Dunmail Raise, or you can go straight off at nose this way, which is the way we're going to be going, straight back down into Grasmere. So yeah, let's get gone. Right, we're down off the sort of higher slopes of Steelfell now. Little bit of a rocky, craggy drop off that, not too bad though. On the lower sort of grassy bits now, and look at that view of Elm Crag there, absolutely stunning. This haze really does add to a sort of mountain feel on days like this when it's clear and sunny. It's absolutely beautiful. But yeah, I think yeah, we've only got about 10 minutes to get back down to the road, back to the van. So we'll wrap it up here just before we get through this gate, and we've got this view. So yeah, it's been a cracking camp, that, absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyed that one. So yeah, thanks for watching as always. Stay safe out there. I'll catch you on next one. I'll leave you with that view, eh?